Hello there, Liverpool fans. Back again with another video to talk about the recent developments, the recent matches, and also the Takumi Minamino transfer, which Liverpool have. I think they've completed the transfer now, and they're just waiting for the player to sign the contract. So, yeah, I mean, he's a decent player from Salzburg, the Austrian team, of course, who were in the same Champions League group as Liverpool. And he played two good games against Liverpool for Salzburg. He showed what he's about, He showed his quality, his pace, his trickery, his skill. He's a decent player, a Japanese international. I think he's 24 years old, this Minamino. And yeah, so Liverpool have got the player now. We've virtually signed him up, and I think from January onwards he can start playing in the team in the first 11 if Klopp actually uses the player. Let's see what he does anyway. I'm not sure why he's been brought into the squad, but because we have quite a similar player in Shaqiri who's in the team. So yeah, we'll have to wait and see how Klopp utilises the player, where he plays him, in what kind of games he plays him in. So let's wait and see anyway. And of course, to talk about the Club World Cup match in Qatar yesterday, which Liverpool won 2-1, thankfully in the end, because the performance we had was bloody shocking. I mean, Klopp in his press conference before the match when they went to Qatar told the entire press, told everybody that he was going to play a strong team, and yet when it came to the match day, we had four players missing, man. 3 or 4 players in the main team missing, not even in the team. So, and it seemed ridiculous because one day earlier, on Tuesday the 17th of December, Liverpool fielded the youngest possible team in the League Cup quarter-final against Aston Villa, and we got annihilated. We got smashed 5-0 because what do you expect? These are under 23 players. Nobody expected this team to get through, did they? And if they had have got through, it would have been a miracle because they're playing against a Premier League team, although it's Aston Villa, a team that is, near the relegation zone, but still, they wanted to show up and perform on the day, and they took their chances. Some people may say that the youngsters played well in the first half. I don't agree with that because they missed opportunities. When you play for a team like Liverpool, doesn't matter if you're young or you're a senior player. You need to have the confidence, you need to have the quality to put the chances away. I don't care about all this thing about they're inexperienced and they're young and they're still learning. You don't learn in a cup quarter final, man. When you play in a cup quarter final, you need to be ready. You need to have the quality. You need to have the clinicalness to put the chances away. But we didn't do that. And what happens? I knew it. As soon as I saw the game and I saw that Liverpool missed those chances, I had a feeling inside that we were going to get punished soon because it's only a matter of time. The youngsters, defensively, they're not good enough. Positionally, they're not good enough. And that goalkeeper is a bloody tragedy, man. It took me back to the time of bloody Karius and Mignolet, Kelleher. How does he concede that first goal from the free kick? It virtually went through him. It went under his arms or something. I don't know what he did. He dived, and it seemed to just squirm under his body somehow. He could have just, with 2 hands, he could have caught that ball, saved it. And yeah, that was the beginning of our downfall, basically, in the game. And then, I think a couple of minutes later, El Mohammadi on the wing delivers some kind of cross, and it gets a massive deflection of one of our players. I think it's Boys. Can't remember his first name. Something Boys. And it gets a deflection and it loops over the goalkeeper. It goes into the corner of the net and it's 2-0 in about the 18th minute of the game. And that was it. That's the end of the game. We're not coming back from this. Not with the team we had on the pitch anyway at the time. So, yeah. And in the end, of course, we got battered. We conceded another 2 in the first half to that idiot Kodja, who thought that he'd scored in the bloody World Cup final. He's celebrating like some nutcase because he never gets into the team, does he? So he got his chance against the Liverpool under-23s and he got 2 goals. and he's celebrating as if he's won the bloody Premier League or he's won some kind of massive trophy, you know, the European Cup or something. Yeah, so that was half time, 4-0. And then second half, at the end of the second half, you know, we huffed and we puffed and we tried to put some passes together, tried to create some chances. We couldn't do it. And then at the end of the game, Aston Villa have a breakaway from their own goalkeeper into the midfield, and then from the midfield up to the striker Wesley, they play a ball through to him, and he's on his own, and he just takes it on and puts it past the keeper for 5-0. And that's the end of the game. We lose the game 5-0, and I think that the world has gone mad. I really do, because as a Liverpool fan, I was embarrassed, man. I was embarrassed with the 5-0 defeat to Aston Villa. Doesn't matter that we were playing the young team. And I saw comments on social media, on Twitter and Facebook, from our so-called fans saying that they were proud of the team, man. Are you mad, you people? Honestly. Proud of what, man? How can you be proud of a team that has lost 5-0? You know, this is football. This is a game of football. Of course you're going to win, lose and draw, but 5-0 is a big defeat, man. Especially for a team like Liverpool. Doesn't matter what competition, doesn't matter what kind of circumstances the match is being played in. We lost that game 5-0 to Aston Villa. This is a team that could possibly be relegated in May 2020. Do you realise who they are? Who we played against? We didn't play against one of the best teams in the Premier League. If it had been Man City or Man United, Tottenham, Chelsea, then you can accept it because you've played a young team and you've been beaten by a better team, quality team. But Villa, man, Villa, you lost 5-0 to Villa, and you say, I saw people saying that they were proud of the young players. Come on. They were left in a bad situation, the young players. I don't want to keep harping back to the past and blaming Klopp, but Klopp, the solution that he found for this problem is not good enough. You could have left at least 4 or 5 players back for this match. Senior players, the likes of Origi, Shaqiri, you know, Lallana, probably the goalkeeper Adrian, and you know, maybe a couple of others in midfield. Oxlade-Chamberlain possibly. We don't need Oxlade-Chamberlain for the Club World Cup. Come on, man. And what happens? We get knocked out. And then we start making all these stupid excuses, as Liverpool fans have been doing for the last 5 to 10 years. Every time that we exit a competition, or we're not good enough, we keep trying to be upbeat and positive and say that, oh, but look at the young players. They performed heroics. They performed brilliantly. They did this, they did that. They didn't, man. They didn't do that. We got beaten fair and square, 5-0 to Aston Villa, you know. I'm not too bothered about the League Cup. Don't get me wrong. It's not as if it's not the biggest trophy. It's not our priority. But I don't want to see my team, Liverpool Football Club, in any shape or form, being battered 5-0 by any team. It's an embarrassment to the club, man. It doesn't matter who plays, you know, the young players or the senior players. They need to have the mental strength. They need to have the courage. They need to have the quality to not lose this kind of game, 5-0, you know? Because we started the game very well. We could have scored a couple of goals through, I think it was Harvey Elliott. And also we had another chance through, was it one of the strikers? I can't remember now. That had a chance in the first half at the beginning. And instead of putting it into the corner of the net, he tried to put it down the middle. And the keeper somehow saved it, and it went for a corner. So they need to be taught properly, these young players. To play for Liverpool Football Club, you need to be clinical, you need to be ruthless, and you need to believe in your quality to play for a team like Liverpool. When you get into the first 11, you need to grasp that opportunity with both hands and make sure that you perform to the highest level. Liverpool is not some kind of fucking development academy that you can just put any player in and let's see what they can do. No, you need to be ready. You need to be ready. Look at Manchester United. Look at the young players that they have. Mason Greenwood. He is a clinical player, man. Greenwood. Every time he gets a chance, I've seen him come on for Man United, he scores. He creates opportunities. These are the kind of young players that we need. Look at Tammy Abraham at Chelsea. Mason Mount, all these other young players. You know? City have Phil Foden. Now, I was one of his critics, Phil Foden. I don't understand why he's in the squad, but when you see him play, he has the quality. He believes in himself, this player, Phil Foden. And he contributes to Man City most of the time when he plays. But with our young players, they don't seem ready. They don't seem like they're good enough to even play against like a championship team, like a League One team, a League Two team in the cup. And there's some idiots in our fan base saying that we should play a young team in the FA Cup, man. Come on, what are you doing, man? It's bad enough that we got knocked out of the League Cup. You wanna exit the bloody FA Cup as well now, Liverpool fans? Are you mad or something? It's been 13 years, man. 13 years since we won the FA Cup. And it's been 7 years since we won the League Cup against Cardiff on penalties. You know? We need to start winning domestic trophies. I'm all for going away to Qatar and winning the Club World Cup. That is important as well. Don't get me wrong. But I don't like this philosophy that we just, because we don't have the players available, let's just throw it away, the League Cup and the FA Cup. You can't keep doing that every year, man, Jurgen Klopp. I'm talking to Klopp here because Klopp is the manager. And since he's been appointed the manager of Liverpool Football Club in October 2015, we haven't done anything in the cup competitions. We haven't achieved anything of any note. We got to the final in his first year, but that was because we weren't doing well in the league. So we made it like a priority to get to the final, to perform well in the cup competitions, and we got to two finals. The League Cup final against Man City, which we lost on penalties, and then in May 2016 we got to the final of the Europa League, which is another cup competition, and we lost to Sevilla 3-1. But in the league we finished 8th, I think it was. 8th, yeah. So, it's not good enough. Every season we're making excuses that we didn't have the team, we didn't have the squad of players, we can't do anything. He had time to pick a decent team for this League Cup quarter final. Klopp had time, and he had, he could plan what he was going to do for the future, for the Club World Cup and for the League Cup. And what does he do? He plays a bloody ridiculous team, under 23s, against a Premier League team. If it had been a Championship team, then yeah, or a League One team, why not? But you don't do it against Premier League opposition, man, and then you expect some kind of miracle. You expect them to perform and get through. It would have been a miracle if they got through, But anyway, it's gone now, It's gone, it's finished. So forget about it. And then, of course, yesterday, Wednesday the 18th of December, we played our first match in Qatar in the Club World Cup against Monterrey, the Mexican team. And we won the game 2-1, but bloody hell, we struggled. We struggled to get over the line, despite Naby Keita scoring an early goal for Liverpool, a very good goal, where Salah reverses the pass, puts him through, and Keita with that attacking instinct, that instinct to score a goal. This is why I've always been harping on about Keita. He is a very good player. He's a quality player that can score goals going forwards. The others can't do that in midfield, man. Henderson, Wijnaldum, Milner, Lallana, none of these can contribute with goals anymore, these players. Maybe Shaqiri on the odd occasion, or Oxlade-Chamberlain, but Keita is the perfect midfield player that has the quality, that has the know-how, that has the ability to score goals. And he done it again yesterday. If that had been Henderson or Wijnaldum, they would have put that over the bar. It would never have been a goal, trust me. Or the keeper would have saved it, So, yeah, it was a very good goal from Liverpool, a quality goal, a brilliant pass from Salah to play him through, and then he's kind of side foots the ball into the corner of the net for 1-0 to the right side of the keeper, and a brilliant goal. He didn't panic at all. It's like he scored the goal like a striker would, a natural goal scorer, Keita. I saw him do this many times when he was playing in Germany for Leipzig. So hopefully he's getting back to that level now, that quality, because I always trusted Keita. I always wanted him to play next to Fabinho and, either Oxlade-Chamberlain or Shaqiri. But Klopp, our manager, keeps playing the same bloody midfield. Henderson, Wijnaldum, Milner. Lallana, man. Well, how has Lallana all of a sudden got into the team, into the squad? Why? What has he done during the season or last season that merits him even being in the squad, to even be in the team. You take him away to Qatar, all right, leave him in the squad. You don't need to play him. Or you can put him on in the last 10 minutes or something for a run out. You don't need to put him into the team at the beginning of the game. Come on, man. What is Klopp doing sometimes? I don't understand. He takes the team away to Qatar. He tells us in the press conference that he's taking it seriously. He wants to win the competition. And then he disrespects the competition by playing these players, man. Lallana, Milner, and Henderson in centre-back position. That is ridiculous, man. Centre-back position. You put Henderson, of all people. It's madness. It really is. And because we don't have any fit players left, do we? In the centre-back position. Van Dijk apparently had a virus. Or maybe they're protecting him. They don't want him to play in the game. So he didn't play. Matip is injured. And Lovren is injured. So we don't have anybody there. We all said this in the summer. The sensible Liverpool fans, the experienced Liverpool fans, all told the management, the club, that we need to buy a couple of players in defence. Because Matip, Lovren and Gomez are always liable to pick up injuries during the season. They're not consistent players. They never have been since they've been at Liverpool. And what happens? Again, we've only just reached Christmas time now, and we don't have any fit centre-backs. We've only got Van Dijk when he comes back, and you're relying on Gomez. Gomez hasn't even played that many games, and he got found out many times yesterday. In fact, he was lucky in the second half. He could have been sent off. There was a position where they played a long ball forwards. Monterrey, the Mexican team, they played a long ball forwards, and their striker was running onto the ball, and Gomez went and clattered into him. And he was very lucky that he didn't get sent off. I think this is what their manager was complaining about, the Mexican team's manager. And he was very fortunate that he didn't get the second yellow card, because I think he already had a yellow card. And that was down to the referee's leniency. If it had been another referee, he would have been off. He would have been sent off. And we're down to 10 men, and the score is 1-1. So anything could have happened after that with Liverpool. Sorry, 1 second. Just have a drink of water. I don't understand why Klopp does this, man. I really don't understand why he does it in the cup competitions. He doesn't seem to take any kind of competition seriously, apart from the Champions League and the Premier League. But these are two of the hardest tournaments to win, two of the hardest trophies to win. You need to take every cup competition, every tournament seriously and try to win it, man. This is Liverpool Football Club. As I said earlier, we haven't won the League Cup for 7 years. We haven't won the FA Cup for 13 years, man. So what is the excuse every year that we keep getting knocked out? Tell me, please, Klopp. We don't have the squad, they say. Use your squad then, man. Use the squad. Play senior players and play a couple of young players. What he does is he changes the team completely, Klopp. For the cup competitions, he's always done the same. Last year he done it against Wolves, we got knocked out. He done it against Chelsea in the League Cup. What happens? We got knocked out. And it's just ridiculous. I mean, it's either that we're very unlucky in the cup competitions. It's down to the lineups that he picks for the games, Klopp. I've always said it. Of course, we're very happy. We're top of the league, 10 points ahead of second place Leicester, but there is no guarantee that we will win the league. We said the same thing last season when we were again 10 points ahead of Man City, weren't we? But they had a game in hand, and what happens? They caught up to us in the end and overtook us and won it by 1 point. Albeit, it was one of the best Premier League races for years, and City was so consistent along with Liverpool. But still, you can't just take the lead in the league campaign and then you think you're going to win it guaranteed. There's no guarantee in football, man. So the sensible thing is to play well in all the competitions, to take everything seriously, so that if you can't win one thing, you at least have the opportunity to win another thing, another trophy. And what happens? You get knocked out, and then we start to go into the excuse mode, making excuses, saying that the schedule was not good, or we don't have a good enough squad, or this. You could have taken care of these problems in the summer. You had the opportunity to buy players, Klopp, and FSG. But the thing with Klopp is, I don't think that he talks to FSG. I don't think that he tells them what he needs in the team properly, because this Minamino transfer is good, yes, but look at the price of the player. 7.25 million. It's not an expensive player, you know. It's not a top quality player that we need in the team. Timo Werner would have been a better player for me. Timo Werner is an outstanding goalscorer in the German league. He plays for the German national team. He scored goals for the national team as well, for Germany's national team. He is a very good player, man. 23, 24 years old, young, very young, but already established, already a quality player. I'm not saying that Minamino isn't a good player, but Minamino is not a prolific goal scorer. We need that because at times Firmino doesn't look good in the centre of attack, and he misses chances as well. Firmino yesterday, I have to say, he came off the bench, he did his job, and he scored the goal, the winner. But that was down to Salah. It was down to Salah not giving up, and then Trent's cross, and then Firmino was in the right place at the right time. He didn't panic. He put it away. A very, very calm, assured finish. But I've seen many games where Firmino is not able to score the killer goal, the second goal, the third goal to finish the game off. And at the top level of football, you get punished. If you don't put your chances away, you're always liable to get punished by the opposition. Liverpool have always had very good strikers. Liverpool have always had goal scorers of the top quality in the world, all the way since the 90s, since the 80s, in fact. Even the 70s, we had Keegan and Toshak, In the 80s, we had Rush, we had Aldridge, we had many other players that could contribute, but Beardsley, Barnes, In the 90s, we had, players like Dean Saunders, we had Rush again, we had Robbie Fowler, then we had Michael Owen, Torres, Suarez, brilliant goal scorers of the highest quality, the best in the world. So it's just baffling to think that we haven't even thought about buying a proper striker, a proper number 9 that can take the chances, put them away. Of course, Firmino is integral to the way that Liverpool play in our system, but still, you need to have scorers because Salah doesn't do it all the time. Mane uses up a lot of energy trying to get past players, dribble past players, and then get into the area and put in crosses. And he tries to create as well. He can score. He's a very good scorer. He can put the chances away, but it would be better if there's a natural goal scorer there, so that when he puts the ball into a dangerous area, he knows that there's always somebody there that can score the goal, put the chances away. And then Liverpool don't have to, they don't have to play until the last minute to try and get a goal. He took too long, man, Klopp, yesterday in the Club World Cup. It takes too long to make a bloody substitution. You have to do that early, man. Early to win the game. He took until the last 10 minutes, I think, to put Firmino on. And Mane only came on with about 15, 20 minutes to go. So the time was running out, That was the last chance. If we didn't score that goal, the game would have gone into extra time, definitely. And then it could have gone to penalties and we could have lost. We could have got knocked out. And then, then Klopp is going to be under big pressure because they're going to ask him, why did you play such a young team against Aston Villa and then you proceeded to make 3 or 4 changes for the first match in the Club World Cup and you could have got knocked out again to Monterrey. I didn't expect this team to play this well, this Mexican team, but they really did, play well. They really did defend well for the entire 90 minutes, But they played very tough. They played the game very, crunching tackles, smashing into players. They tried to scare Liverpool. They tried to frighten us with the way that they were tackling, the way that they were pushing us around, So it's just madness why he put Lallana into the team. And Milner is 34 years old, man. At best, Milner should be coming on as a substitute in the second half, not starting the game. He looked tired after about 15 minutes, man. Lallana as well. I saw in the first half, the Mexican player went past him as if he wasn't even there. He didn't even attempt to get the ball, man, because he doesn't have any energy. He doesn't have any pace anymore, Lallana. He can't run after players, And it's ridiculous because if you do this in a Premier League game, then you're going to get punished. If you do this against better teams, we're going to get majorly punished in the future. So anyway, we're into the final to play Flamengo, the Brazilian champions, and also the Libertadores winners, the South American Championship, which they won, I think, a couple of weeks ago. So it's a good team. We need to take them seriously, and Klopp needs to play his main players from the beginning. Please do not make the mistake again of playing either young players or second-rate players in the team, in the squad. Play all the main players for this game. We went to Qatar with the expectation to win this trophy and bring it back to Liverpool. So they better do their jobs to the best. I don't want to see any excuses. We got knocked out by Aston Villa. Now we need to take this trophy, bring it back to England. Whether it means something or it doesn't, for me it does, because we won the European Cup in June against Tottenham, for a sixth time. And this is what gave us the opportunity to play in the Club World Cup. I've seen many programs and many radio programs and this and that articles saying that we shouldn't even take it seriously. What are you talking about, man? You're representing the continent of Europe in the World Club Cup. You need to take it seriously, man. All the other teams before us took it seriously, didn't they? Man United, Chelsea, all the other teams that have played in it before. So we need to do our best to win it. I don't care about all this rubbish, what they write in the press and what they say on the programs, analysis programs and this and that. Every trophy is important. Every trophy makes you better. It allows you to grow, to become a better team, a more successful team, to believe in your ability that you can win major trophies in world football. When you do it on the international stage, on the in other continents, then that shows that you can win anything. You're capable of winning all the trophies. So we need to do it. We need to get over the line and beat this Flamengo team, and just take it back to England. And then we've got Boxing Day. We've got to play Leicester. Now that game worries me because Leicester are a very good team. Last couple of games they struggled, against Norwich, where they ended up drawing the game 1-1 in the league, and then I think last night they played Everton in the League Cup quarter-final at Goodison. They took a 2-goal lead in the first half, and then they were pegged back in the second half to draw 2-2, and they won the game on penalties. So this shows me that Leicester are a very good team, but they also concede goals. They concede chances. They're always liable to give you chances to score. We need to go out in that game and beat them. If we beat them at the King Power, then we will win the league. I'm telling you. That game is the killer game. If we win that game, Liverpool go on to win it from there on. There's no one catching Liverpool. When the points gap goes to, let's say this weekend they draw with Man City in the league, Leicester, then it goes to 9. It's 10 at the moment. It will go down to 9. And then when they play Liverpool and we beat them, if we beat them, it goes to 12 again, the gap. That's 4 games. I don't see this Liverpool team losing 4 games in the season. So it's all there for Liverpool. We need to be serious. Our manager needs to play our best team in the main games, like starting with the final, the Club World Cup final on Saturday. I don't want to see any excuses. I don't want to see any changes in the team from Klopp. They went there to win that trophy to Qatar. So play your best team and win it, man. Show the world that you mean business. You've won the European Cup in June. Then you won the European Super Cup in August. And now we want to win this trophy as well. Because why have we gone there? If we didn't have the expectation, if we didn't have the passion, the desire to win this cup, then why have we gone to Qatar? There's no point. We should have just stayed in England and just forfeited the competition if we weren't going to even try. So I want to see a better performance anyway on Saturday from the main players, the main team, and hopefully we win it. And then they have to come back to England, of course, Christmas, this and that, get Christmas out of the way. And then the next day, on Boxing Day, we go to the King Power, to Leicester, to play Leicester, and hopefully to end their title challenge, put them away, finish them off. And we just keep on racking up the wins, hopefully. Keep on winning the games, staying at the top of the league. City are miles behind. Even if they beat Leicester, they're still 11 behind Liverpool, having played a game more. So the only team realistically that can catch Liverpool, hopefully not, is Leicester City. So if we can damage them, put them away at the King Power Stadium, that's the end, I feel. Liverpool will go on to win it. I have no doubts. especially when Fabinho returns after the new year and Matip, and we start to become defensively stronger. We start to become attackingly more fluent, better fluidity in the team, better pressing, better putting the chances away, becoming more clinical. Then Liverpool will finish the job off. I have no doubt. But the manager, it starts with Klopp. He needs to put out the best possible 11, for the games, for the main games. And I want him to take the FA Cup seriously, as I said before. Do not be making any excuses, Jurgen Klopp, please. Fatigue and this and that, it's all rubbish. When you're in a winning team, you have to go on to win everything. You have to expect to win everything, especially the fact that the cup game is at home, it's at Anfield. We have to finish Everton off. I don't want to lose to Everton in an FA Cup game, especially not at Anfield anyway, So we need to put out a serious team on the day and beat them. As we did in the league, we smashed them 5-2 with second players in the team, from the squad. So that shows me that we can beat them easily, We have the quality to beat them. We just have to have the right intensity, the right attitude, the right passion for the game, and just go out and beat them in the third round. And keep going through the rounds, man. Get as far as you can in the FA Cup, because, as I said before, there's no guarantee that we're going to win the Champions League or the Premier League. There's many good teams in these tournaments in the league. It only takes a bad month. It only takes a bad couple of weeks, and then the team that was behind you in the league catches up to you. So there's still a long way to go until May 2020. Of course, we want to win it. That is my major target. My priority is to win the league as a Liverpool fan. Most Liverpool fans want to win the league title, but you also need to do well in the other competitions as a big team, an elite team. So anyway, and hopefully they make another signing in January to bring in a centre-back, a decent centre-back, because, as I said before, we can't rely on the Matip, Lovren and Gomez. They're always liable to pick up injuries. We don't want it. We don't want it to be in the most important part of the season where we don't have any defenders left, apart from Van Dijk. And then, you've got Robertson and Trent on the, on the left and right side of defence, who don't really do their jobs properly, I'm afraid to say. Trent is a very good player going forwards. His deliveries, his passes, crosses, his ability to go forward and play players in, play the killer passes to the front players. But defensively, he is a bit shabby, Robertson is probably better defensively. At least he doesn't allow players to get away from him. And positionally, he's better than Trent, I feel, on his side of the pitch, on the left side of the pitch. So, yeah. A couple of signings in January. Even Minamino is a good signing, but we need more. We need probably a striker, another good striker, and a centre-back. We've got the two goalkeepers, Alisson and Adrian. That position is sorted. The midfield, we have a lot of players in there that can, do the job. So we don't really need anyone there. But going forwards, Firmino is a good player, but at times he seems to lose his confidence. And he goes through a barren spell, so we can't afford that in the chase for the Premier League title. Salah and Mane are always probably 8 or 9 out of 10 in most matches. Firmino is a very good player still. He contributes a lot, but we need a deadly goal scorer. I've been saying it for years. I want to see someone like Owen, Fowler, Torres, Suarez brought into the team, man. Every big team has it, Arsenal have Aubameyang, the top scorer. Leicester have Jamie Vardy. Manchester City have Gabriel Jesus, and they have Sergio Aguero. Man United have Rashford. They have Martial. They have other players that can come in and score goals. Liverpool can't afford to be relying on Firmino all the time, because he's not an out-and-out goal scorer, Firmino. He's a creator. He's more of a creator, a clever player, So he's not a prolific goal scorer. He never has been. He's had very good seasons at Liverpool where he scored many goals, but he's never liable to get you 30 goals in a season, 35 goals, like the main strikers in the world do, the big strikers. Anyway, Liverpool fans, that's the end of the video. Thank you very much for watching it. Hit the like button, subscribe to the channel. Ahmet Gosa, make your comments in the comment section below. It will be very much appreciated. Take care of yourselves, and we move on to the final to play Flamengo on Saturday. And hopefully we lift that trophy in Qatar and bring it back to England as the, best club side in the world. of football. I don't care what other people say in the press or the media. When you win this tournament, you are classed as the best team in the world. So we have to win it. You know, whether the trophy means anything or not, when you win it, that's the how do you say? You will be remembered as the best club side in the world for this season, having won the European Cup, and then you win the Club World Cup. So this is a good thing to have for Liverpool. A good, how do you say? A good name to have basically for Liverpool Football Club. We need to win it. It's simple as that, really. So that's the end, Liverpool fans. Thank you again for watching the video. Take care of yourselves, and looking forward to the Boxing Day trip to the King Power. Hopefully City can derail Leicester a bit more and keep them at 10 points behind Liverpool. Or at the most 9 points. If they draw the game, it's still a good result for Liverpool. And then we have to go there on the 26th on Boxing Day and get a good result. And carry on picking up the points in the league. Opening up the gap, until the end. And hopefully lifting the Premier League title for the first time in 30 years. It's got to be done, Liverpool fans, The time is now. The time where we are successful is now. We have to take advantage, because in a couple of years we may not be in this position. If we lose players, or God forbid we lose the manager, Klopp, then Liverpool could become a completely different team, a completely different squad of players, and a different way of playing football. So we may not be at this level again for a long time again. So we need to take advantage now. These next 2 or 3 years are very important for Liverpool Football Club. We need to win as many trophies as we can. Continue being successful. Continue picking up the trophies, the cups, because the league titles, because it may not last. It never does last. Even, the teams of Man United, Chelsea, and Arsenal, look at where they are now. They're nowhere to be seen in the Premier League, So they've completely fallen away from grace, and they're second-rate teams now compared to Liverpool and City. So anyway, let's see what happens. Hopefully we win it on Saturday and bring it back to England, to Liverpool. Take care, Liverpool fans, and I'll speak to you soon again after Christmas. Have a very good and Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. Come on, you Reds.